Polesden Lacey Shakespeare Company present Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare, Part 1.
Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured, piteous overthrows do with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage. The which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
A dog of the house of Montague moves me. My naked weapon is out. Quarrel, I will back thee.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law of our side if I say I?
No.
No, sir. I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
If you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you.
No better?
Well, sir.
Say better. Here comes one of my master's kinsmen.
Yes, better, sir.
You lie.
Draw, if you be men.
Heart, fools! Put up your swords. You know not what you do.
What, art thou drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, look upon thy death.
I do but keep the peace. Put up thy sword, or manage it to part these men with me.
What, drawn and talk of peace? I hate the word, as I hate hell or Montagues and thee. Have at thee, coward.
What noise is this? Give me my longsword, ho!
Thou villain, Capulet!
Rebellious subjects! Enemies to the peace, that quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins! On pain of torture, from those bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground! And hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word, by thee, old Capulet, and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time, all the rest depart away! You, Capulet, shall go along with me, and Montague, come you this afternoon to know our further pleasure in this case. To Alfrey town, our common judgment place, once more, on pain of death, all men depart!
Who set this ancient quarrel new abroach? Were you by when it began?
Here were the servants of your adversary. And yours. Close fighting ere I did approach. I drew to part them. In the instant came the fiery Tybalt, with his sword prepared, while we were interchanging thrusts and blows, came more and more, and fought on part and part, till the prince came, and who parted either part.
Oh, where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am he was not at this fray.
Madam, an hour before the worshipped sun peered forth the golden window of the east, a troubled mind drove me to walk abroad, where underneath the grove of sycamore that westward rooteth from the city's side, so early walking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me, and stole into the covert of the wood.
Many a morning hath he there been seen, adding to clouds more clouds with his deep sighs. Away from the light steals home my heavy son, and private in his chamber pens himself, shuts up his windows, locks far daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night. Black and portentous must this humour prove, unless good counsel may the cause remove.
My noble uncle, do you know the cause?
We neither know it, nor can learn of him. Could we but learn from whence his sorrows grow, we would as willingly give cure as know.
See where he comes. So please you step aside. I'll know his grievance, or be much denied.
I would thou wert so happy by thy stay to hear true shift. Come, husband, let's away.
Was that my father that went hence so fast?
It was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
Oh, in love?
Out.
Of love?
Out of her favour where I am in love. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz I rather weep.
Good heart, at what?
At thy good heart's oppression.
Why, such is love's transgression. Griefs of mine own lie heavy in my breast. Farewell, my coz.
Soft! I will go along. And if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
Tut, I have lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo, he's some other where.
Tell me, in sadness, who is that you love?
In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
I aimed so near when I supposed you loved.
Well, in that hit you miss. She'll not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She lives unharmed, she will not stay the siege of loving terms, nor bide the encounter of assailing eyes, nor ope her lap to saint-seducing gold. Oh, she is rich in beauty, only poor, that when she dies with beauty dies her store.
Then she hath sworn that she will still live chaste.
She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste. She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow do I live dead that live to tell it now.
Be ruled by me. Forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes. Examine other beauties.
Not the way. Farewell. Thou canst not teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine, or else die in debt.
That Montague is bound, as well as I, in penalty alike. And 'tis not hard, I think, for men so old as we to keep the peace.
Of honourable reckoning are you both, and pity 'tis you lived at odds so long. But now, my lord, what say you to my suit?
But saying o'er what I have said before. My child is yet a stranger in the world. She hath not seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, ere we may think her ripe to be a bride.
Younger than she, a happy mother's maid.
And too soon marred are those so early made. But woo her, gentle Paris. Get her heart. My will to her consent is but a part. And she agree, within her scope of choice lies my consent and fair according voice. This night I hold an old accustomed feast, whereto I have invited many a guest, such as I love, and you, among the store, one more most welcome makes my number more. Come, go with me. Go, trudge about through fair Verona, find those persons out whose names are written here, and to them say, my house and welcome on their pleasure stay.
Find them out whose names are written here? I must to the learned. In good time.
God end, good madam.
I pray, sir, can you read?
Aye, mine own fortune and my misery.
Perhaps you have learnt it without book, but I pray, can you read anything you see?
Aye, if I know the letters and the language.
He say honestly, rest you merry.
Stay, madam, I can read. Signor Martino and his wife and daughters, County Ansonim and his beauteous sisters, the lady widow of Otravia, Signor Placentio and his lovely nieces, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, mine uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters, my fair niece Rosaline, Olivia, Signor Valentino and his cousin Tybalt, Lucio and the lovely Helena. A fair assembly. Whither should they come?
Up.
Whither?
To supper at our house.
Whose house?
My master's.
Indeed. I should have asked you that before.
Now, I'll tell you without asking. My master is the great rich Capulet, and if you not be of the house Montague, I pray, come and crush a cup of wine. Rest ye merry.
At this same ancient feast of Capulets, sups the fair Rosaline, whom thou so lovest.
The all-seeing sun ne'er saw her match since first the world begun. I'll go along.
Tut, you saw her fair, none else being by.
Nurse, where's my daughter? Call her forth to me.
What, lamb? What, ladybird? God forbid, where's this girl? What, Juliet?
How now, who calls?
Your mother.
Madam, I am here. What is your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. I have remembered me. Thou'st hear our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter's of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age in 2 hours. Come Lammas Eve at night, shall she be 14? Susan and she, oh, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan is with God. She was too good for me, but as I said, on Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. Oh, that she shall marry. I remember it well. Oh, peace. I have done.
Marry, 'tis a...
God mark thee to his grace. Thou wast the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed, and I might live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Marry is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an honour that I dream not of.
Well, think of marriage now. Younger than you here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers. On my account, I was your mother much upon these years that you are now a maid. Thus then, in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
A man, young lady. A lady's such a man as all the world. Why, he's a man of wax.
Verona's summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, he's a flower. In faith, a very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold of him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris's face, and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. Well, speak briefly. Can you like of Paris's love?
I'll look to like, if looking liking move. But no more deep will I endart mine eye than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
Madam, the guests are come, supper served up, you called. My young lady asked for, the nurse cursed in the pantry, and everything in extremity. I must hence to wait. I beseech you, follow straight.
We follow thee. Juliet, the county stays.
Oh, go, girl. Seek happy nights to happy days.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I. Believe me. You have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground I cannot move.
You are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings, and soar with them above a common bound.
I am too sore impierced with his shaft to soar with his light feathers, and so bound. I cannot bound a pitch above dull woe. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it should you burden love. Too great oppression for a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like a thorn.
If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you beat love down.
A torch for me. Let wantons of light heart tickle the senseless rushes with their heels. I'll be a candle holder and look on. The game was ne'er so fair, and I am done.
If thou art done, we'll draw thee from the mire of this Sir Reverence love, wherein thou stickest up to the ears. Come, we burn daylight, ho!
Nay, that's not so.
I mean, sir, in delay.
Yet we mean well in going to this masque. yet 'tis not wit to go.
Why, may one ask?
I dreamed a dream tonight.
And so did I.
Well, what was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
In bed, asleep, while they do dream things true.
Oh, then I see Queen Mab hath been with you. She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little atomies athwart men's noses as they lie asleep. Her waggon spokes made of long spiders' legs, the cover of the wings of grasshoppers, the traces of the smallest spider's web, the collars of the moonshine's watery beams, her whip of cricket's bone, the lash of film, her waggoner a small, grey-coated gnat, not so big as a round little worm, pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut, made by the joiner squirrel or old grub, time out of mind the fairies' coachmakers. And in this state she gallops, night by night, through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. O'er courtiers' knees that dream on curtsies straight, o'er lawyers' fingers who straight dream on fees, o'er ladies' lips who straight on kisses dream, which oft the angry Mab with blisters plagues, because their breaths with sweet meats tainted are. Sometimes she gallops o'er a courtier's nose, and then dreams he of smelling out a suit, and sometime comes she with a tithe pig's tail, tickling a parson's nose as a lies asleep, and dreams he of another benefice. Sometimes she driveth o'er a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breaches, ambuscados, Spanish blades, of healths 5 fathom deep, and then anon drums in his ears, at which he starts and wakes, and being thus frighted swears a prayer or two, and then, sleeps again. This is that very Mab that plats the manes of horses in the night, and bakes the elf-locks in foul, sluttish hairs, which once untangled much misfortune bodes. This is the hag, when maids lie on their backs, that presses them and learns them first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is she.
Peace, peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talk'st of nothing.
True. I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin a substance as the air, and more inconstant than the wind, who woos even now the frozen bosom of the north, and, being angered, puffs away from thence, turning his face to the dew-dropping south.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done, and we will come too late.
I fear too early. For my mind misgives some consequence yet hanging in the stars shall bitterly begin this fearful date with this night's revels, and expire the term of a despised life closed in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course, direct my sail. On, lusty friends of mine.
Strike drum!
Welcome, gentlemen. Aha, my mistresses. Which of you all will now deny to dance? Am I come near ye now? Welcome, gentlemen. I have seen the day that I have worn a visor, and could tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ear, such as would please. Ah, 'tis gone, 'tis gone, 'tis gone. You are welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians, play. A hall, give room. Unfoot it, girls. More light, you knaves, and turn the tables up, and quench the fire.
What lady is that doth enrich the hand of yonder knight?
I know not, sir.
Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night like a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows, as yonder lady o'er her fellows shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers, make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight, for I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
This, by his voice, should be a Montague. Fetch me my rapier, boy. What dares the slave come hither covered with an antic face to fleer and scorn at our solemnity? Now by the stock and honour of my kin to strike him dead I hold it not a sin.
Why, how now, kinsman? Wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe, a villain that is hither come in spite to scorn at our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
'Tis he, that villain Romeo.
Content thee, gentle coz, let him alone. He bears him like a portly gentleman, and to say truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. I would not for the wealth of all the town here in my house do him disparagement, therefore be patient. Take no note of him. It is my will, the which if thou respect, show a fair presence, and put off these frowns and ill-beseeming semblance for a feast.
It fits, when such a villain is a guest, I'll not endure him.
He shall be endured. Oh, what goodman boy, I say he shall, go to. Am I the master here, or you? Go to, you'll not endure him. God shall mend my soul. You'll make a mutiny among my guests. You will set cock-a-hoop, you'll be the man.
Why, uncle, 'tis a shame.
Go to, you must contrary me, for shame. I'll make you quiet. What, cheerly, my hearts?
Patience perforce with wilful column meeting makes my flesh tremble in their different greeting. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall now seeming sweet convert to bitter gall.
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle fine is this. My lips, two blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
You have not saints' lips, and holy palmers too.
Aye, pilgrim, lips they must use in prayer.
Oh then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray. Grant thou, lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
Then move not, while my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips by yours my sin is purged.
Then have my lips the sin that they have took.
Sin from thy lips? Oh, trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
You kiss by the book.
Madam, your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Mary Bachelor, her mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise and virtuous. I nursed her daughter that you taught withal, and tell you, he that can lay hold of her shall have the chinks.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear account, my life is my foe's debt.
Away, be gone! The sport is at the best.
Aye, so I fear. The more is my unrest.
I thank you, honest gentlemen. Good night. Oh, more tortures here. Come on then, let's to bed. Ah, sirrah, by my fay, it waxes late. I'll to my rest.
Come hither, nurse. What is yond gentleman?
I know not.
Go ask his name. If he be married, my grave is like to be my wedding bed.
His name is Romeo, and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love, sprung from my only hate. Too early seen, unknown, and known too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me, that I must love a loathed enemy.
What's this? What's this?
A rhyme I learned even now, of one I danced withal.
Oh, anon, come, let's away. The strangers all are gone.
My cousin, Romeo!
Romeo! Oh, he is wise, and on my life has stolen him home to bed.
He ran this way and leaped this orchard wall. Cool, good Mercutio.
Nay, I'll conjure too. Romeo, humour's madman, passion lover, appear thou in the likeness of a sigh. Speak but one rhyme, and I am satisfied. Cry but, ah me, pronounce but love, and dove, speak to my gossip Venus one fair word. I conjure thee by Rosalind's bright eyes, by her high forehead and her scarlet lip, by her fine foot, straight leg, and quivering thigh, and the demesnes that there adjacent lie, that in thy likeness thou appear to us.
Calm. He hath hid himself among these trees to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark.
If love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Ah, Romeo, good night! I'll to my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go?
Oh, go, then. But 'tis in vain to seek him here, that means not to be found.
She jests at scars that never felt a wound. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou her maid art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. It is my lady, oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer it. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ay me.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night being o'er my head as is a winged messenger of heaven.
Oh, Romeo. Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Or, if thou wilt not, be but sworn, my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more or speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo doth thy name, and for that name, which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou, that thus bescreened in night so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself, because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of that tongue's utterance, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo? and a Montague?
Neither, fair saint, if either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither, tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
Alack, there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and I'll be proofed against their enmity.
I would not for the world they saw thee here.
I of night's cloak to hide me from their sight.
By whose direction foundst thou out this place?
Or by love, who first did prompt me to inquire.
Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Yet if thou swear'st, thou mayst prove false. Oh, gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or, if thou think'st I'm too quickly won, I'll frown, and be perverse, and say thee nay.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I swear that...
Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all. Or, if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the god of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
If my heart's dear love...
Well, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy of this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden. Good night, good night! As sweet repose and rest come to thy heart as that within my breast.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
My bounty is as boundless as the sea, my love as deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite.
Madam!
I hear some noise within. Dear love, adieu. Anon, good nurse! Sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little, I will come again.
Oh, blessed, blessed night! I am afeard being a knight, this is all but a dream. Too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honourable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow, by one that I'll procure to come to thee, where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
Madam!
I come anon! But if thou mean'st not well, I do beseech thee.
Madam!
By and by I come, to cease thy suit, and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow will I send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times. Good night. Romeo!
My sweet,
At what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
at the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. Oh, good night, good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I was sleep and peace, so sweet to rest. Hence will I to my ghostly father's cell, his help to crave, and my dear hap to tell.
Now, ere the sun advance his burning eye, the day to cheer, and night's dank dew to dry, I must upfill this osier cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers. Oh, mickle is the powerful grace that lies in herbs, plants, stones, and their true qualities. Within the infant rind of this small flower, poison hath residence, and medicine power. For this, being smelt, with that part cheers each part, but being tasted, slays or censors with the heart. Two such opposed kings encamp them still in man, as well as herbs, grace and rude will. And where the worser is predominant, for soon the canker death eats up that plant.
Good morrow, father.
Benedicite, what early tongue so sweet saluteth me? Oh, young son, it argues a distempered head so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. I think thy earliness doth me assure thou art uproused by some distemperature, or, if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
That last is true. The sweeter rest was mine.
Oh, God pardon sin. Was thou with Rosaline?
With Rosaline, my ghostly father? No. I have forgot that name, and that name's woe.
That's my good son. But where hast thou been then?
I'll tell thee, ere thou ask it me again. I have been feasting with my enemy, where on a sudden one hath wounded me, that's by me wounded. Both our remedies with thy help and holy physics lie. I bear no hatred, blessed man, for lo, my intercession likewise steads my foe.
And it be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shift.
Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine, and all combine save what thou must combine by holy marriage. When and where and how we met, we wooed and made exchange of vow, I'll tell thee as we pass. But this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy shit, St. Francis! What a change is here! Is Rosaline, whom thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Huh? Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesu Maria, what a deal of brine hast washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline! And art thou changed? Pronounce this sentence, then. Women may fall when there's no strength in men.
Thou chides me oft for loving Rosaline.
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
I pray thee, chide not. She whom I love now doth grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well thy love did read by rote and could not spell. But come, young waverer, come go with me. In one respect I'll thy assistance be, for this alliance may so happy prove, to turn your household's rancour to pure love.
Oh, let us hence, I stand on sudden haste.
Yet, wisely and slow, they stumble that run fast.
Where the devil should this Romeo be? Came he not home tonight?
Not to his father's. I spoke with his man.
Oh, that same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline, torments him so that he will sure run mad.
Oh, Tybalt, the kinsman of old Capulet, hath sent a letter to his father's house.
A challenge. Oh, my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Any man that can write can answer a letter.
Nay, he will answer the letter's master. How he dares, being dead.
Alas, poor Romeo! He is already dead, stabbed with a white wench's black heart, shot through the ear with a love song, the very pin of his heart cleft with the blind bowboy's butt shaft. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why? What is Tybalt?
More than Prince of Cats, I can tell you. Oh, he is the courageous captain of compliments. A duellist, a gentleman of the very first house of the first and second cause.
Here comes Romeo!
Signor Romeo! Bonjour! There's a French salutation for your French slop. You gave us the counterfeit fairly last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
Ah, the slip, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, good Mercutio. My business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may strain courtesy.
That's as much as to say, such a case as yours constrains a man to bow in the hams.
Meaning to curtsy.
Right.
Oh, single-souled jest, solely singular for the singleness.
Come between us, good Benvolio, my wits faint. Now art thou sociable, now art thou Romeo, now art thou what thou art, by art as well as by nature. For this drivelling love is like a great natural that runs lolling up and down to hide his bauble in a hole.
Oh, stop there.
God ye good morrow, gentles all.
God ye good den, fair gentlewoman.
Is it good den?
'Tis no less, I tell you, for the bawdy hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you! One of you, can any of you tell me where I may find the young Romeo?
I am the youngest of that name, for fault of a word.
If you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you.
Romeo, will you come to your father's? Will to dinner, thither.
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady, farewell.
Marry, farewell. I pray you, sir, what sortsy merchant was this?
A gentle friend, nurse, that loves to hear herself talk, and will speak more in a minute than she will stand to in a month.
Aye, and if speak anything against me, I'll take her down. I know a lustier than she is, and 20 such jacks. And if I cannot, pray you, sir, a word. And as I told you, my young lady bade me inquire you out. What she bade me say, I will keep to myself. But first, let me tell ye, if ye should lead her into a fool's paradise, as they say, it were a very gross kind of behaviour, as they say. For the gentlewoman is young, and therefore, if you deal double with her, truly it were an ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and very weak dealing.
Nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress. I protest unto thee.
Good art, and in faith I will tell her as much. Lord, she will be a joyful woman.
What wilt thou tell her, nurse? Thou dost not mark me.
I will tell her, sir, that you do protest, which, as I take it, is a gentlemanlike offer.
Bid her devise some means to come to Shrift this afternoon, and there she shall at Friar Lawrence's cell be shrived and married. Here's for thy pains.
No, truly, sir, not a penny.
Go to, I say you shall.
This afternoon, sir? Well, she shall be there.
And stay, good nurse, behind the abbey wall. Within this hour my man shall be with thee, and bring thee cords made like a tackled stair, which to the high-top gallant of my joy must be my convoy in the secret night. Farewell, be trusty, and I'll quit thy pains. Farewell. Commend me to thy mistress.
Well, sir, my mistress is the sweetest lady. Lord, when she was a little prating thing. Oh, there is a nobleman in town, one Paris, that would fain lay knife aboard. But she, good soul, as at least see a toad, a very toad as see him.
Commend me to thy lady.
Aye, 1,000 times.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him. That's not so. Oh, she is lame. Love's heralds should be thoughts which 10 times faster glide than the sun's beams, driving back shadows over lowering hills. Therefore do nimble-pinioned doves draw love, and therefore hath the wind swift Cupid wings. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours. Yet she is not come. Had she affections and warm youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy her to my sweet love, and his to me. But old folks, many feign as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Oh God, she comes! Oh, honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him?
I am a-weary. Give me leave a while. Oof, I am my bones ache. What a jaunt have I had?
I would thou hadst my bones and I thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee, speak. Good nurse, speak.
Jesu, what haste? Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I'm out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? The excuse that thou dost make in this delay is longer than the tale thou dost excuse. Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that. Sweet nurse, tell me. What says my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous, and a kind, and a handsome, and a warrant, a virtuous, and... Where is your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman. Shh. Where is your mother? Come, what says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Oh, now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks. There'll be scarlet straight at any news. Hie you to the church. I must another way to fetch a ladder, by the which your love must climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. I am the drudge and toil in your delight, but you shall see the burden soon at night. Go, I'll to dinner, I you to the cell.
High to high fortune, honest nurse, farewell.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hours with sorrow chide us not.
Amen. Amen. But come what sorrow can, it cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight. Do thou but close our hands with holy words, then, love-devouring death, do what he dare. It is enough that I may but call her mine.
These violent delights have violence ends, and in their triumph die like fire and powder, which, as they kiss, consume. The sweetest honey is loathsome in its own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite. Therefore, love moderately. Long love doth so. Too swift arrives as tardy as too slow. Here comes the lady.
Good even to my ghostly confessor.
Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both.
As much to him, else is his thanks too much.
Come with me, and we will make short work. For by your leaves, you shall not stay alone till Holy Church incorporate two in one.
I pray thee, good Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot, the Capulets abroad, and if we meet, we shall not escape a brawl. For now these hot days, it's a mad blood stirring.
Thou art like one of those fellows that when he enters the confines of a tavern, claps me his sword upon the table and says, God send me no need of thee, and by the operation of the second cup draws it on the drawer, when indeed there is no need.
Am I like such a fellow?
Thou wilt quarrel with a man that hath a hair more or a hair less on his head than thou hast. Thou wilt quarrel with a man for cracking nuts, having no other reason but because thou hast hazel eyes.
By my head, here come the Capulets.
Follow me close, for I will speak to them.
By my heel, I cannot.
Gentle friends could dare no word with one of you.
And but one word with one of us? Couple it with something. Make it a word and a blow.
Ha! You shall find me apt enough to that, fool, and you will give me occasion?
Could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consorts with Romeo.
Consort? What, dost thou make us minstrels? And thou make minstrels of us look to hear nothing but discords. Here's my fiddlestick. Here's that shall make you dance. Zounds, consort.
Well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man. Romeo, the hate I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none, therefore farewell. I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this shall not excuse the injuries that thou hast done to me, therefore turn and draw.
Oh, calm, dishonourable, vile submission. Alistair Carter carries it away. Tybalt, you rat-catcher, will you walk?
What would thou have with me?
Good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives.
I am for you.
Gentle Mercutio, put thy rapier up.
Come, sir, your passado.
Gentlefolk, forbear this outrage. Tybalt, Mercutio, the prince hath expressly forbidden bandying in Verona streets. Hold, Tybalt! To Mercutio!
I am hurt! A plague of both your houses! I am sped. Is he gone and hath nothing?
What? Art thou hurt?
Aye, scratch. Marry, 'tis enough.
Courage now. Whether the hurt cannot be much.
No, 'tis not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a church door. But 'tis enough. 'Twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grey fool. I am peppered, I warrant, for this world. Oh, a plague over both your houses! Zounds! A dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat, to scratch a maid to death! The braggart, a rogue, a villain that fights by the book of arithmetic! Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm!
I thought all for the best.
Help me into some house, Benvolio, or I shall faint. The plague o'er both your houses! They have made worms meat of me! I have it, and soundly too! Your houses...
This gentle heart, the prince's near ally, my very friend, hath gotten her mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt at an hour hath been my kinsman. O sweet Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in my temper softened valour's steel.
Oh, Romeo, brave Mercutio's dead. That gallant spirit hath aspired the clouds, which too untimely here did scorn the earth.
This day's black fate on more days doth depend. This but begins the woe others must end.
Here comes the furious Tybalt back again.
Now, Tybalt, take the villain back again that late thou gavest me. For Mercutio's soul is but a little way above our heads, staying for thine to keep her company. Either thou or I, or both, must go with her.
Thou wretched boy that didst consort her here shalt with her hence.
This shall determine that.
Romeo, away. Be gone. Stand not amazed. The prince will doom thee death if thou art taken. Hence be gone.
Oh, I am fortune's fool.
Away! Away!
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
Oh, noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky menage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man slain by young Romeo, that slew thy cousin, brave Mercutio.
Tybalt! My brother's child! Prince, as thou art true, for blood of ours shed blood of Montague! Oh, cousin! Cousin!
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
Tybalt, he is slain, whom Romeo's hand did slay.
She is kin to that Montague. Affection makes her false. She speaks not true. I beg for justice which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him. He slew Mercutio. Who now the price of his dear blood doth we owe?
Not Romeo, prince, he was Mercutio's friend. His fault concludes but what the law should end, the life of Tybalt.
And for that offence, immediately do we exile him hence. I have an interest in your hate's proceeding. My blood for your rude brawls doth lie a-bleeding. But I'll amerce you with so strong a fine, that you shall all repent the loss of mine. I will be death to pleading and excuses, nor tears nor prayers shall purchase us abuses. Therefore, use none! Let Romeo hence in haste, else when he's found, the hour is his last. Bear hence his body and attend our will. Mercy but murders, pardoning those that kill.